And we are live. This is Travis from Tradewithtravis, Carter Cow Capital, expert about the reviews. Hope everybody's doing very well on this Thursday morning. As we go through and be able to take a look at some overall trading opportunities and everything goes like that, I'm going to go through a disclaimer, talk about what's happening with the economic calendar, and then also be able to talk about what's happening for us the overall trading day and recap on what ended up happening with the FOMC, even though it wasn't really necessarily that much information that we had to be able to pay attention to. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show disclaimer, and then after that, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm not a CTA, so I'm not going to tell you whether to buy or to sell. What I'm going to do is teach you education, and from that education, you can be able to make your own informed decision. And understand that trading involves risk. It involves risk of being able to make money, also involves risk of being able to lose money. So please keep that in mind. And understand that past performance is not indicative of future results, which means that if you end up making money yesterday, it's not promised that you're going to end up making money today. So with that being said, I just want to make sure everybody's good to go on the red brand. As we go through, did it click on the right one? Yes, it did. Okay, cool. So I'm getting ready to show myself on the screen, and we'll go ahead and get started. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing very well. If you're not familiar with who I am, my name is Travis. What I end up doing here is we end up going about 25 to 30 minutes, taking a look at the overall trading activities that we can be able to get into for today, recapping what ended up happening yesterday, and then after that, also being able to talk about what's happening with the automation systems and everything else like that as we go through. So, I have made it a point. I've made it very much a point to be able to say that I don't want to be able to trade live or trade manually this year. So I'm doing a lot more stuff automated, and I will talk about that as we go through and get everything else situated. Show y'all some examples of what that actually looks like. But as we talk about in the live stream and do everything here, obviously these will be my manual trades that we end up taking throughout the overall year and go through. But yesterday, what ended up happening? We ended up having FOMC meeting minutes. Jerome Powell ended up speaking at 2:00 yesterday. ISM PMIs actually ended up being negative. We go into what's happening today. Today is going to end up being another slow day. Today is the day before non-farm payroll. Typically, non-farm payroll days are very slow in general when it comes down to everything that is happening. So I just want to make sure that everybody kind of knows that as a way of being able to ensure that you don't want to get yourself into a day to where the market's just slow and you don't have anything to be able to do, or you get caught in the trades and you expect to be in there, maybe shorter or longer or whatever else may be the case, but you're not necessarily getting as much out of that or maximizing that overall time. So give me one quick second. I need to make sure that the community can be able to see what we're doing. I don't think we're going to end up having a lot of people on this one, but that'll be fine. What's going on, Block? Bam, there we go. Cool. All right. So today's going to end up being slow. We making sure that everybody understands that. I don't think that we're probably going to end up seeing a lot. We got initial jobless claims that's going to end up coming out. And we just have to expect that it's going to end up being slow. What's going on with that? What's going on, Bridge Fox? Hope everything's going well with you. If there's a pair that you'd like to be able to talk about, place that inside of the chat box as we end up going through. Thanks for being able to pop in. I really do appreciate it. As we end up getting everything else situated. So let's go ahead and get through the big three. Big three is the United States dollar index. We take a look at oil. We take a look at gold. The reason why we take a look at those things is because that they end up having strong correlations with the United States dollar index, which is the United States dollar. Oil has a strong correlation with the Canadian dollar, and gold has a strong correlation with the Japanese yen, the Australian dollar, and also it has a crossover between the United States dollar. So we end up taking a look at those three to be able to understand how the market's going to end up reacting overall. And by being able to do that, gives us a better identifier about how the market's going to end up just moving in general. So just want to make sure everybody's good with that. All right, now from a weekly perspective, we did that yesterday, but we still will go through it. We end up having two orders from yesterday that has not been fulfilled. I thought they were going to end up being fulfilled just based off of how the market was going to end up moving, but clearly we can see that the beginning of this year is still kind of slow overall. There's a support that's at 12,815. There's a resistance at 12,960. Both of those have not been hit. As long as the market is in the middle of this consolidation, I am not interested in being given a trade. The United States dollar index, which means that the United States dollar in general is probably still going to end up being either in consolidation or going to end up being slow. I kind of attest that to this is the first couple trading days of the new year. People are still trying to get their wits about them. Some people are still trying to gain a little bit more funds when it comes down to trying to get everything else situated before they start placing their live money in. So there's no reason for you to be able to start going with your larger percent risk on any trades solely because it's not necessarily ready yet, unless you have a true scalping system that can be able to get you in and get you out based off of whatever your rules actually are. Okay, so I'm just saying that in general, but from an overall trading perspective, is there a move to be able to take? No. There's a 33% chance of being able to win inside of this yellow area, and I'm not interested in 33% chances. I'm interested in 70 to 80% win chances. We are the casino. We are not. We are not the consumer. I want everybody to understand that if you're trading with me, we are the casino. We are not the consumer. All right, good to go. Type in a while, yes, if that makes sense on oil, on United States dollar index. Taking a look at oil from a weekly perspective. What's going on with this one? Market has stabilized, and there's still a D extension that's out there at $64 a barrel. Currently, right now, we end up having a counter trend line break yesterday. I end up saying that I will probably be interested in being able to take a look at it. If we end up getting a 2-hour position in the sell zone, two-hour high price in the sell zone, we did not get that overall. The market kept on falling to the downside based off of where we were. So I think it probably ended up hitting a 2-hour D extension first, and it kind of fell down to that 73.54 support that we were looking at yesterday, which also matches up with the consolidation that we have been kind of playing out and talking about overall. Remember, the market started giving these large spikes that end up happening right here in this area. And that was right before Christmas actually ended up happening. So now, with that being said, if we use the data that we end up getting from early in November and where we are right now, we have support right here, support right there, support right here. That means that there's going to end up being a support in this area. This turns this area once again into another 33% chance of being able to win. So now oil is off the table for us being able to trade, and it's kind of getting me I want to start prop firm trading starting on the 9th, which means excuse me. I want to start prop firm trading. Let's see. I think you need to a little bit closer. Turn your gain up. It's going in and out. All right, let's try it again. Testing. Is that better? Okay, good to go. Sorry about that. Let me do this real quick. I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm cutting up videos for the Boss EA and the YouTube video that's going to end up coming out with that. Looking at the automation systems and obviously doing this and answering calls about everything else that's going on with that. There we go. Perfect. All right, so for oil and the manner that it has been trading, the way that it has been going, this market is relatively slow at the beginning of the year anyway. Typically December, late November, December, going into February is the time when the market truly makes its moves. But if the market is going to end up remaining to be this slow in the way that it's kind of moving, I'm probably not going to be interested in being able to trade it until it has another breakout as well. Same thing with United States dollar. Once again, this is the beginning of the year. There's no reason to sit up there and try to jump into a trade just because you want to jump into it. You got to jump into it with a purpose. The purpose is that it's in a breakout area and we can be able to maximize that area. And we end up going from there. So at this particular point, I'm going to stay away from oil as well, but we end up taking a look at it. Hey, I'm going to say Anna. Anazari, I hope I said that right. Anazari24, can you help me? Help you how? Is there a pair that you're interested in being able to talk about? If you are, place it inside of the chat box and we'll talk about that. You're talking about like further education and stuff like that? Oh, I learned to trade a little bit. Okay, cool. I would say take a look at the profile. You take a look at the profile, or actually just take a look at below. There are some areas that will end up helping you out. Or better yet, just send me a message. It'll probably be easier to send me a message, and I can kind of direct you that way. Let's go ahead and take a look at gold. But happy that you're here. Stay here, or watch how everybody goes through the process of being able to analyze trades, see if there's going to end up being some good ones or not, and then after that, it'll make it easier for you just to be able to understand the process of it. But once again, happy that you're here. All right, go from a weekly standpoint. Once again, I know I have a lot of stuff on the screen. I probably need to start chopping some of this stuff up a little bit just to be able to make it better. All right, long-term consolidation was at 2070, which was right at the start of the Russian-Ukraine war. It fell all the way down to 16, 17, and then after that, kind of bounced back inside of this natural support. So if we take a look at this overall area, we end up taking a look at gold as a tradable area. If it broke out at 1811 right before the Christmas break, that ended up happening. The market ended up pushing past that overall level. Currently, right now, we're about at 1846. It got all the way up to market got all the way up to 1864 before starting to retrace down a little bit. For the people that have been in this trade, that would kind of worry me a little bit, knowing that the market is getting a little bit more overbought, and because the market's going to end up being slow today, I don't think that. Well, we could possibly see that the market could try to push up to 1872, but you're talking about almost 30 something points that it's going to have to push up today. I would lean to saying take a little bit off the table and be able to take a little bit of profit off of the table and let the other portion of it ride, solely because we just don't know what's going to end up happening going into today, just because it's the day before non-farm payroll and how slow it may end up being. You may end up giving yourself a chance to be able to get back into it. And seeing if the market can be able to give you a counter trend line break to the upside to be able to make a move off of it once that happens. So what I'm saying is, if I was in this position at this particular point, I would probably take profit and then wait for the market to be able to give a counter trend line break to be able to get back in and start to be able to look at being able to take a move somewhere around there once it breaks the counter trend line break to the upside. Now, obviously, you want to see the stochastic in the buy zone, or you'll want to see whatever your oscillator is that tells you if the market is overbought or oversold in the buy zone. But right now, I would not look at being able to jump into the trade until there's a true confirmation of a U-turn going back up to the upside and finishing out this move. But once again, from this history and just understanding how the market's been reacting on the day before non-farm payroll, this is probably not going to be a great day for its overall trading, and expecting that you're going to end up getting that movement to complete the overall de-extension. So I would kind of, if you're not in, I will stay away. If you're in, I will take profit or take partial profit, and I'll kind of just move on from there and look for a better position a little bit later on today. Okay, so gold, nothing there. Block, you seen anything with Bitcoin? How your systems been doing with Bitcoin? This one's pretty simple for me. It did pop out at 16,962. That probably happened right during FOMC. Yes, it did. It popped right out, and then after that, rejected. So that means that it's going good. Nice. So that means that we need to adjust this overall range now. Our new settings for our range is 17,000. Pretty sure it's 17,000. Okay, so 17, 18. So anywhere around 17,000. If it breaks out of that area, that'll be the area where I'll look at being able to possibly get in. Anything below 16,500 will probably end up being the area where I will look at being able to sell. Currently, right now, in the middle. Y'all probably gonna hear me say this over and over again today. Unfortunately, nothing to be able to take when it comes down to this movement. We're gonna wait and kind of go from there. I'm in longs right now. All goes to TP scalps. Currently, still working swing trades. Yeah, makes sense. Swing trades gonna be in there for a while though. Just the nature of how it looks. Swing trades will probably be in there for a while. Unfortunately. Let's take a look at what's happening with US 30. Rich Fox, before I end up moving forward, is there any pair that you would like for me to be able to take a look at from a forex standpoint before I start getting into indices? I gotta figure out where the heck is Steve. Steve from SoCal at. I know we haven't talked to him in a while, but let's see what's going on with him. US 30. From this standpoint, what's happening? Let's take a look at it from an Ikimoku standpoint first. The market is considered to be bullish. We were in a consolidation, and currently, right now, we're at the highest point of the high volume nodes of this whole market, and how the market was compared to be last year and where we are now, which means that we're going to see a lot of consolidation, which means that there's not going to be a lot of great spots to be able to get into trades, at least right now. Not saying that we're not going to see that going into tomorrow. Probably might end up seeing a little bit of a breakout going into tomorrow. But currently, right now, kind of like what I end up saying with most pairs, we are in tight consolidation ranges where the support on this one is at 32,860. The resistance is at 32,440. As long as the market stays in consolidation, the longer that the market stays in consolidation, then after that, we're probably going to end up seeing the market have a big pop and be able to go from there. Gary, what's going on? Can you analyze gold? We literally just analyzed gold, but I'll come right back to it and I'll show you what we end up saying. And we end up going through. If you're, matter of fact, I can say it right now. If you're in gold, or if you were in gold, my take profit position was 1872. The market got up to 1864, and then after that started to retrace a little bit. If because it's the day before non-farm payroll, I would look at being able to take a little bit off the top if you're long, and then after that look for a better position to be able to get back in. If you are thinking that the market is short, obviously you're going against the direction of highest probability. So I will look at the next support areas and look at being able to get into profit and take profit before those actually happen. Okay. Simply put, that's where it is. But I do believe that gold is going to end up getting up to 1872. Reason why I believe that is because if you take a look at past history, the market ended up breaking the resistance to be able to go back up here. The market ended up having its last consolidation from May 10th all the way into June, and the resistance highs were 1872. Okay. So that's why I think that the market's going to end up going eventually. But gold works in its own time. It doesn't work on anybody else's time. All right. US 30, we still have two pending orders in. The order for longs will end up being at 33,450, trying to get out at 33,595 with a stop loss of 33,300. I feel pretty comfortable about that stop loss still. The market hasn't pushed up towards that area and gave us a fractal low to work off of, but we go based off of previous history. I am okay with that stop loss overall. We take a look at the shorts trades. Short trades, if the market ends up breaking below 32,855, you want to be safe, 32,850. You could be able to place your stop loss either 100 points above or go just above these overall swing highs right here, because we don't have a fractal high, a fractal low to be able to work off of in that position. So 33,050 will probably end up being a stop loss. I remember yesterday we did not compile a stop loss on this one yet because we haven't seen the market fall down to that position and give us any type of swing high at that point. But take profit if it does fall all the way down to there. We end up being in two different positions. The first position will end up being at 32,500. The second position will end up being at 32,300. Reason why it's 32,300 is because if you take a look at it, low volume nodes will kind of lead you to that point. We're trying to trade this pocket that you will end up seeing right here. That pocket right there. That's the pocket that we're trying to go after. Got it? Hopefully that makes sense. Let's see. What is happening with the what is happening with the EAs? Boss EA is get my grill off the screen. Keep the camera on. Nope, keep the camera on. Let's do that. Boss EA ended up having a very good day yesterday. Ended up going. Well, this is the Boss Band EA. I'm sorry. Boss Band EA ended up going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 out of 6. Ended up trading DAX, US 30, NAS 100 a couple times. This is a breakout scalper system to kind of quickly analyze it. And end up winning those overall pairs. We end up taking a trade a little bit earlier today on Aussie CAD, but that was a way to be able to work out the copy trader that we have. So it will show up as a loss, but that really doesn't count in my mind. So that one is doing well. This is done over 34% overall since its inception. Take a look at what's happening with the Skywalker EA. US yen is showing signs of consolidating again, kind of matching up with what's happening with the other move. But the market is in a bullish area, so I would kind of wait on that. Euro United States dollar has not shown a resistance yet. There's a sell stop that's actually placed at 105.80 with a stop loss of 106.08 and take profit of 1.05660 as another position and being able to go from there. So just waiting on those. Obviously, that is a automated perspective and being kind of going from there. But I think today's gonna be a slow day. I still think today's gonna end up being a slow day overall. There's really no reason to be able to jump into trades. I feel way more comfortable with being able to say from a trading standpoint that we'll probably kind of wait until the end of this week to kind of see how the market's going to end up moving before being able to jump in and being able to trade anything else from this standpoint. But if you like what we end up doing, please make sure that you end up clicking on that boost button or clicking on that like and subscribe button on the red brand and obviously on TradingView. We have a expert advisor review that's going to end up being on the Boss EA. That's probably going to end up coming out hopefully tomorrow, right around 7 a.m. or 9 a.m. depending on how quick we can be able to get that out. But like always, make sure that you end up planning your trade your plan. I see each and every one of y'all in the videos that we're going to end up having a little bit later on tonight. Take it easy.